Welcome back to Wheel Reverend, the channel where two wheels always feel better than four. Today, we're diving into a cruiser that's been around the block and earned its stripes at the Yamaha V Star. But this isn't just any V Star. We're talking about the 2025 Yamaha V Star, bringing new refinement, fresh design touches, and just enough updates to keep it competitive in today's motorcycle market. So if you're into cruisers with that classic look, relaxed riding posture, and a dependable heart, stick around because the 2025 V Star might be exactly what you're looking for. The V Star series has long been a go-to choice for riders who want the cruiser experience without emptying their wallet or needing a heavyweight license to handle massive displacement. And that same philosophy carries forward in the 2025 model. Yamaha kept what worked and gave the V Star a modern polish, meaning you still get that vintage vibe but with subtle upgrades where it counts. Powering this cruiser is a familiar and trusted 942cc air-cooled, SOC, 60-degree V-twin engine. For those who've been following the V Star for a while, you'll recognize this motor. It's built for relaxed cruising, not racing. You're looking at around 52 horsepower, but what really matters here is the torque, and that's a healthy 60 pound-feet. Delivered nice and low in the rev range at about 3,000 RPM. What that means for you on the road is effortless acceleration, especially in that sweet spot between 30 and 70 miles per hour. Whether you're rolling through city traffic or stretching out on the open highway, this bike feels planted and predictable. One of the key updates for 2025 is the revised fuel injection system. Yamaha has worked to smooth out throttle response, making it more linear, especially at lower speeds. It's a small refinement, but one you notice if you've ridden earlier V Star models. The engine also now runs slightly cooler thanks to improved airflow and EQ mapping tweaks, which is going to make summer riding a bit more pleasant, especially at lower speeds or in stop-and-go traffic. Paired with this engine is a 5-speed transmission with the belt final drive. Why a belt drive? Well, it's quieter, requires less maintenance than a chain, and adds to that smooth, laid-back cruiser feel. Gear shifts are clean, with a clutch that feels light enough not to wear you out, especially on longer rides or commutes through urban sprawl. Comfort, of course, is a priority with cruisers, and Yamaha's designers clearly haven't forgotten that. The 2025 V Star features a low 27.4-inch seat height, which is inviting to both new riders and veterans alike. That low seat, combined with wide handlebars and slightly forward foot controls, creates that classic cruiser riding triangle upright posture, relaxed arms, and feet slightly forward. It's a setup that just feels natural for long stretches on the road. Whether you're cruising through small towns or tackling the long highway miles between major stops. Suspension is handled by conventional 41mm telescopic front forks and dual rear shocks with preload adjustability. While you're not getting cutting-edge suspension tech here, this isn't a performance bike. What you are getting is a stable, predictable, and comfortable ride. Minor updates and fork damping helped soak up smaller road imperfections, which means you're less likely to feel beat up after a full day in the saddle. Braking is handled by a single 298mm disc up front and another at the rear, with standard ABS included for 2025. Yamaha knows safety matters, even on laid-back cruisers, and while these brakes aren't going to stop you like a superbike, they provide steady, confidence-inspiring stopping power in all conditions. Riders new and experienced alike will appreciate how controllable the brakes feel, especially with that safety net of ABS there to prevent lockups. Now let's talk about what's often the first thing that draws people to cruisers: the styling. The 2025 V Star sticks close to its roots with that low-slung, long wheelbase silhouette that screams classic cruiser. The teardrop fuel tank, deeply sculpted fenders, and fat rear tire all contribute to that unmistakable cruiser stance. But Yamaha has brought in some fresh visual cues for this year's Model A, notably new color schemes, including a deep metallic blue and a matte graphite black with subtle pinstriping. Small chrome accents around the engine covers and exhaust keep it tasteful but not flashy. This is a cruiser for people who want style, but not necessarily to shout about it at every stoplight. One of the highlights in the design is the updated LED lighting package. Both headlight and taillight are now LED, providing better visibility for you and making sure you're seen by other vehicles on the road. The lighting has a slightly modern touch without clashing with the bike's classic lines, striking a nice balance between old-school appeal and modern function. When it comes to tech, Yamaha keeps things simple, which is part of this bike's appeal. You won't find TFT screens or integrated smartphone connections here. Instead, you get a clean, analog-style speedometer with a small digital inset showing trip meters and fuel gauge. The idea is to keep distractions to a minimum so you can focus on the ride itself. If you're someone who loves gadgets and screens, this might feel bare bones, but if you want to feel connected to the machine in a more traditional sense, you'll probably appreciate the analog simplicity here. So where does that put the V Star in terms of value? Yamaha has priced the 2025 V Star at around $9,199, depending slightly on color options and regional dealership pricing. That positions it right in that sweet spot between entry-level cruisers and the larger heavyweight touring bikes. For the price, you're getting a bike with timeless looks, a reliable V-twin engine, modern safety with ABS, and an approachable riding experience that works for both new riders and those coming back to bikes after some time away. And that's really the V Star's biggest selling point: accessibility. It's approachable, both in terms of riding dynamics and price. It doesn't demand that you be an expert, it doesn't weigh a ton, and it won't break the bank. Instead, it offers a steady, dependable, and honestly pretty fun way to hit the open road. Whether you're thinking about customizing it or just want something you can hop on after work for a relaxing ride, the V Star is set up to give you exactly that. For those of you who like to personalize your rides, Yamaha's parts catalog for the V Star has grown for 2025 too. You can pick from optional saddlebags, backrests, upgraded seats, and a selection of windshields if you're planning longer trips. The bike also comes pre-wired for accessory lighting, making upgrades straightforward. In a world where motorcycles are increasingly tech-heavy and expensive, the 2025 Yamaha V Star is refreshingly simple. It's a cruiser that doesn't try to be everything for everyone, that knows what it is, and it does that job extremely well. Smooth, reliable, stylish, comfortable, and affordable. That's a combination that never goes out of style. If you're looking for a relaxed ride with genuine cruiser character that won't leave your wallet empty or your back aching, this might just be your next bike. That's it for this review here on Wheel Reverend. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more detailed reviews and riding impressions on the latest motorcycles, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss what's next. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. Catch you on the next ride.